Hi, everybody. This is
Hello.
Takeshi, and then here is a Kasia-san. We are here for Shushoku Cafe. We are talking about Japan-related jobs and the most common question we have. And then today's topic, we will talk about mid-career professionals. The reason why we choose this topic is not only for the fresh graduate, but in the middle of the career, like when you think about I still have passion about Japan-related job. How are we gonna be able to switch my career to be Japan-related, something like that? So when we talk about this pivot, and then before we go in details, Kasia, what do you mean about mid-career professions?
Thank you, Takeshi-san. I believe that this definition can have multiple uh, understandings. So for this video, let's consider mid-career as having 4 or more years of experience. So I often talk about JET and MEXT returnees, people who come back from Japan. They've worked there a little bit, but they don't know how to promote their Japan experience. So sometimes they assume they have to start with entry-level jobs, and or they can maybe pivot into a mid-career role using their skills. But a lot of times, the JET returnees I speak with are kind of in a hurry to get a job upon returning, so they're in this question phase. The other group that I would like to talk about are professionals who actually have been working for 4 or more years, but they kind of want to pivot because now they realize, wow, there's actually jobs out there that are related to Japan, but I can actually do here in the US. And they just didn't know that those existed. But more and more, we're seeing that they do exist. So they didn't think it was possible. And now they have this dream. A lot of this happened in the pandemic. So Takeshi-san and I are here to help you kind of remember that dream that you had and see how possible it is to go for it right now.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we're gonna talk about mid-career. So there's a lot of different backgrounds. So, but we will talk about a little bit more general things. How you're gonna pivot, and then what most frequent questions something happen. So maybe first question, like when they think about like for example, they had some career in US for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, a little bit, and then they realize, oh, there's something like I can be connected to Japan, working in Japanese company, something like that. The most frequent question is how I can use my experience living in Japan or learning Japanese, or at least having an interest for culture, Japanese culture. How can they promote that kind of things, Kasia-san?
Absolutely. I think in depending on the industry, depending on the role, if you're looking for a Japanese related job in the US or any other country, actually, any level of Japanese language and cultural skills is going to be great for you. So and we talked about this in a previous video, if you have various levels, basic, intermediate, or advanced, just go with the level you're at right now. If you have the desire to learn, you can promote that. And if you have not been to Japan in 5 years or 15 years, or you haven't used Nihongo in a long time, just be confident with where you're at and understand yourself that your background information is still a good foundation and you can always learn more. You know where to go to improve your Nihongo. You know where to go to remember Japanese culture, whether it's business or just arts or whatever. So just keep that in mind. Any level is good. And if you have the desire to improve and learn more, you know exactly where to go.
Yeah, I agree, and it might be dependent area as well, especially in
Mhm.
Midwest and Central or Georgia, like in the center of the U.S. Most of Japanese company is very localized already. So the work itself you can do it in every single in English, but they really value at least you have a passion about to be connected in Japan. Like even like a 3 weeks experience, it's gonna be a big plus for them as well. So you can use a little bit different way for that kind of things. And I have one feeling is I'm not sure. I want to ask Cassius that as well. So when I meet with a mid-career person, talk about it, and I always ask them, "What's your priorities?" Because if you have some specific years of experience in one industry, and if you pivot to the different industry to
Mm.
work in Japanese company, so that's going to be a little bit harsh at the beginning. I always ask them, "What's your priority?" Because if it's in the same industry and you have experiences, and you go for a Japanese company in the same industry, then you can keep your salary ranges as it is. And then you have a big plus of the interest to Japan, something like that. So you keep your salary range, you create your career. So it's like a going up and up and up. But you have some like a 4 year, 5 year, some experiences, and then to connect to Japanese company, something like that, you switching the industry. Of course, they value about your somehow like work experience wise, like admin skills, those things. But changing to the different industry, then salary could be a little bit lower. As you said, like could they may consider you as an entry level. You have like a few years of like a working experience, but not in that position or not in the industry. So it could be going down a little bit, but they're gonna train you to catch up for that, something like that. So I always ask, what's your priority? You wanna do it now to start working Japanese company, or you wanna be a little bit in specialist, then switch to the industry in the same industry as a specialist in there, something like that. How do you see like when you talk with a candidate about those situations?
That's exactly what I hear, and people are concerned about, switching to a different industry or having the lower salary. And again, here I'd like to give you some confidence to believe in yourself that, not everything is this super linear path. Even if let's say you switch to a new company, a new industry, and you're starting off lower, you already have other experience. It's not like you're starting with zero experience. So you can start in the company in the new role, and maybe you can prove that you actually can do this job, that you have value, you can offer the value, and you never know that maybe the next promotion or that next opportunity within that new industry or company could come quicker than it normally would if you're starting with zero. So I just want to empower you to believe that really anything is possible if you're interested. So like Takeshi-san said, what is your goal? What do you want? If you want to move up a ladder, then think about that plan and learn while you're on the job, prove that you can get to the next level, and really anything could be possible. So try to have an open mind about it if you are willing to do that extra work.
Yeah. So there's so many different situations, so many different industries. So we can talk about this for hours, hours, hours. And anytime if everybody is interested to talk more specific on your situation, please feel free to reach out to me or Kasia-san. We are always open to support you. And then let's go for well, we have time limited, so I'm gonna ask one more question for you, Kaisia. So what can they do to be as successful in general in the person who is in a mid-career situations?
I think being open, so not being super strict about what exactly you want or expect. So be open to what could come to you. Especially when it comes to, I'll just give a quick example of being open. So in the automotive industry in Michigan, I have found that it's difficult to get people who are willing to go to travel to other countries. And here I'm talking about Japan, or even go for a longer stay because of all the responsibilities they have. So if you say that you're mobile and you can go, then you might have opportunities that you wouldn't think about. And that others would maybe be saying, oh, I don't want to do it. So maybe management assumes nobody wants it. But if you say, you offer, hey, I'm open to doing this, I'm open to doing that, I'm willing to get trained, I'm interested in new skills. So just being that kind of, easy to work with person, I think is a great opportunity. And then the second thing is I would definitely brush up on your Japanese, because a lot of times that's going to be your key. That's the
Mhm.
key differentiator. So if you are interested in learning more about business Japanese, there's many options out there. One thing is the business Japanese test, BJT, or the JLPT. That's one thing you can do. And networking obviously is going to help you as well. Get to know people in your area, the industry that you want to be a part of. Get to know people, because it's the people connection that are going to get you there. And lastly, also just training and see what you can learn. What can you do in the meantime? Maybe if you're job searching or if you're planning that move to a different role, see what training you can get. How about you, Takeshi-san?
Yeah, yeah. I always give one more advice for the person who is in career. When they think about like something to connect to Japan, working in Japanese company is not only the solutions. There might be different way to connect with Japan. Maybe volunteering for the local nonprofit. Like there is a lot of Japan America Society all around USA. There's a lot of Jet Alumni Association all around USA. There's some cultural club in there. So connecting, you have your own career and then doing volunteer, connecting in those organizations, then you make your balance. So I want to give them maybe it doesn't have to be working Japanese company or maybe US company whose target is Japanese market or something like that. So there's a different way about thinking to be connected. So I want let them know to be open-minded a little bit on a different way of the connection. So that's gonna be the key. Yeah.
Yes.
S- So we can talk about more, but we will be closing up for today. And again, when you have any question, please reach out to me, Takeshi, and Kasia-san at Ikigai Connection. We are always open for everybody else. So thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, and look forward to seeing you in the next video.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.